Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Ageless Blessings with Brenda Pierce. You've come to the right place for candid conversations, inspiration, and empowerment. Join me with my very special guests as we bring you media that matters on the Divas That Care network. For more about the Divas and to listen to various podcasts, visit www.divasthatcare.com. Now let's get on with the show. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Ageless Blessings. I'm Brenda Pierce. I'm the empowered nurse here on the Divas That Care network. And we're here to be inspired and inspire with my fabulous guests. So it's our mission to elevate your life with bliss and to show you how to be ageless at any age. And today's special diva guest is Dr. Ynge Ljung. And before we bring her right on, I just want to tell you a little bit about Ynge because it is her mission to help as many people as possible. And since 1995, Dr. Ynge Ljung has been an acupuncture physician. She is a body talk practitioner, a naturopathic medicine doctor, an acutronics practitioner, an alternative holistic healer, and former NAET practitioner. Her experience made her realize that allergies are the cause of much dysfunction in the body, and they contribute to many diseases. Even when allergies weren't the main concern, it's amazing how these allergies have such an effect on our body and our health. And by treating allergies along with the acupuncture treatment, results improve dramatically. And throughout her career, Dr. Ynge has been challenged by Western medicine's reliance on treating symptoms typically with drugs, ignoring the other factors that seem obvious. She spent years studying ancient healing sources and Chinese truths that she then incorporated into the development of the allergy kit. Her extensive education in both Eastern and Western ideologies has allowed her to create an easy and powerful and affordable way to say bye-bye to your allergies once and for all. This approach creates a lasting effect and brings balance and harmony to the whole being and strengthens the immune system in the process. The allergy kit is the first natural at-home allergy treatment that allows you to easily eliminate your allergy symptoms. And on the show link, we have a link that you can click, but I'll say it here too because you may want to check this out. Write it down, and we'll read it again towards the end of the episode. So you can go to https://theallergykit.com/ref/109. And again, theallergykit.com and /ref/109. And with that, I am excited because I am the empowered nurse. I know how medicine works in our Western world, and I am thrilled to bring you on, Ynge.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that fabulous introduction.
Oh, well, it's nice that we were able to make this time together because you know what? Benadryl only can go so far. We are in ragweed season now, and there are so many allergens around us. And obviously with your extensive experience in healthcare from all aspects, what is an allergy?
An allergy is really a reaction to something that they shouldn't react to. For example, we shouldn't react to eggs or veggies or fruits, but we do. And the allergies go much, much further than to just foods. But when we have allergies, it's because our immune system is not strong enough. And the immune system comes from what we eat and what we can absorb from the nutrients.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because in Western medicine, right, we wait until there's something really majorly wrong, like it can be rashes, eczema, intolerances, bowel dysfunction, all these major things before we do the standardized testing, which is actually taking the allergen and picking under the skin and waiting to see what reacts, when there is such a different way of being, isn't there, with these allergies? And it doesn't have to, so many people suffer needlessly with allergies and this inflammatory process that happens in the body than they need to. Isn't that the truth?
Absolutely. The thing with the inflammation is, it's really bad today. And we can take, for example, something that like diabetes. Then they go to the doctor and they have the scale of where it is normal and where it is abnormal. But that scale for me is much too wide. They should catch what they call pre-diabetes, and they often say, oh, wait till you get diabetes and then you can take the pill. Long before they even get pre-diabetes, they could start to change their diet and exercises and all these things and not get it. Or if they are there, they can reverse it. Mm-hmm. And the diabetes is one of the things that is rampant today.
It is. But a lot of people don't look at it as an inflammatory process, right? And they look at sugar being an issue, and they can look at all kinds of different ways of doing it. And actually, hyperinsulinemia and giving insulin for type 2 diabetes, which is, is an inflammatory process in the pancreas and all in the digestive tract and all this sort of thing. We really do have to sit back and look at what are we doing right and what are we doing that could be done better in this day and age.
Absolutely true. And we have to look at our diet first. Yeah. And it is scary when I go shopping, grocery shopping, or I'm in the restaurant or whatever. In the grocery store, you see what people buy. And that is really, really scary. It's, sodas, diet sodas, and processed foods. It's no wonder people are so sick and have so many allergies, because that's really because they eat these inflammatory foods. And so you can say what came first, the inflammation, the allergies, or the condition of the person. Because as I said, we do absorb the nutrients from the food we eat. But if we eat food there are no nutrients, of course our immune system is all the way down, and we get all kinds of things. Yeah. Even autoimmune system.
Some people will call it Frankenfoods, right? Frankenfoods.
It is
GMOs. And our soils are depleted, and the chemicals that are going on the food, and yes, exactly. We are what we eat, and if we're eating a whole ton of chemicals, well, what does that do to us? It changes the RNA and DNA of our cell structure even, right?
Absolutely. And nowadays there are many people, they go vegan or vegetarian kind of, and then they eat all of these other things. For example, now there's that other Frankenfood, which is the so-called meat. I don't remember the name of it, but they have come out with a meat that is full of GMO stuff from and they're full of toxins. And why do vegans eat things that look like meat and sausages and chicken? Why don't they eat vegetarian food?
Yeah, exactly.
Because what they eat is really they just eat more. Yeah, and they eat so many. With the vegan food, and instead of foods, they are all processed.
Yeah. Anything that has a label on it, look out, run the other way. Yes, and we should always look at the ingredients. The more ingredients there is in something, the worse it is. Yeah, for sure. So it is a huge problem with allergies today in terms of everything that we touch can create this inflammatory process. And isn't it Chinese medicine basically looks at inflammation? So, so it is it's not a new modern disease, but it certainly has reached its pinnacle in terms of its effects in the here and now. So I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more touching on the foods, and we could go on about foods and diet for hours, talking about the transgressions that are happening in the industry. But I'd love for you to share with us, what is it about the allergy kit, and that you put this together, and what is the mission, the movement behind it, and why is it time for us to get an allergy kit? I think every home needs one, but I'd love to hear from you a little bit more about the background.
Yeah, the background is I used to be an aid practitioner, when people have to go to a practitioner to be treated. And the first 15 treatments, you have to do one at a time. Many families have more than one kid, or they are all allergic, because if a kid is allergic, so are mostly the parents. And it takes time. So they didn't finish their treatment. And as I said, some had 2 or 3 kids. They were sick and they couldn't afford to bring them all. Or I ended up treating whole family and charging for one. That didn't work either. So I started to experiment and to do something that people could do on themselves, on their kids and on themselves, to take their power back. Because we should not have to be dependent on other, every time we get something, we shouldn't have to go to the doctor. We should know what more or less what we can do. And with the allergies, so how I put it together is that the very basic kit is called the allergy kit. All the other kits, whatever they are called, they have the basic kit in it. And the basic kit contains, for example, the first treatment contains egg, chicken, dairy, and milk, vitamin C, and parasites. The reason is because I have vegans that come and say, I don't eat eggs, I don't eat chicken. Well, we came from an egg, so it's the basic protein. The first thing we get when we're born is milk. Then they start to eat, and the babies get vitamin C from food. And we are warm-blooded animals, so we all have parasites.
Right.
So, and then treatment number 2 is vitamin B and sugar, because there is sugar in everything, even in milk. Yeah. The next treatment is for toxins, because babies today are born with between 300 and 500 chemicals and toxins in their umbilical cord. And that is pretty scary.
Yeah, it is.
And then the 4th treatment is for vaccinations. Nowadays, I think that is also one reason why this generation is weaker than the one that came before, because now we're coming to the probably 4th or maybe even 5th generation of people who have gotten vaccinations from the start, even though they have been adding on more and more, of course.
Right.
So that's the 4th treatment. The 5th treatment is for sugar again and candida, yeast, because so many people, that's why they crave sugar, because they have yeast infection, and they crave sugar so that the yeast can multiply. And the 6th treatment is for grains. And the 7th treatment is for it's everything together, all the bile 1 to 6 plus organs and endocrines. So that's the basic treatment. And by doing
that's very comprehensive. Wow.
Yeah. So by doing this way, they can start to absorb the nutrients from food. And most of the times, they start to feel different after when they start to treat these things, because people don't really think that you can't be allergic to chicken and egg. Many people say that. But eggs is one of the most common allergies. So so this way they can start to absorb, and this way they can. Then after that, of course, they probably have a lot of other allergies. But for example, the environmental allergies is very common, cats and dogs. But a lot of other things that we don't think about really as allergies. Right. But that's the start. And the good thing is you can use it for the whole family. Yeah, and you can use it for the whole family. You don't use it up. You use a laser You never open the vials. They are homeopathically imprinted. And so you use a laser and a vial and do the treatment. So you can use it for the whole family.
And you only have to do it once per person? Okay, yeah.
Well, sometimes you have to repeat it. And, when I treat people in my office, I muscle test, and I have 100% success. But there are people that it doesn't work for. I don't know if it's something they're doing or if it doesn't work for them. But I have 30-day money-back guarantees. So it's really no-brainer. If they don't think they get the results, they can send it back. And I have less than 5% returns.
Wow.
So.
Well, that tells you how effective it is. And everything is energy. So I see that this works on an energetic level, and it's the frequency of the item that's in the vial. So it's not like they have to actually hold an egg or hold a chicken or do that sort of thing. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Now we don't have to do that. So that's good. Yes.
Because, and also some people could probably do that, but it's more effective when it is in homeopathically imprinted. Even if I would have only the chicken or only the egg, if they have a lot of reaction, it's better to have it in a vial. And sometimes also if they're extremely sensitive, they have to do a surrogate treatment. But
and what about
they can
peanut
do all
allergies?
these things.
Yeah, peanut allergies are also very rampant.
Yes, and I think it is because I think it's peanuts in one of the vaccinations. I forgot what it is, but there is somewhere where, so they more or less make them allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
And I have heard, for example, if the mother would eat peanuts when she's pregnant, I mean, not big amounts, but a little bit, then babies can be born without the allergies. And it's, in a way, the same thing. But the peanut allergies is really very, very, very bad and dangerous. And another thing with peanuts is also that if they are not organic, they grow peanuts mostly between the plants, the cotton plants. Are they called cotton seed plants or cotton plants?
Yeah, in Texas they do a lot of that crop rotation.
Yes, and well, it's not even a rotation; it's a combination. So they spray the soy that's the GMO soy first of all, and they can spray them. They can spray them so much because they don't react. And what does it do? It goes down in the earth, in the dirt, and that's where the peanuts are sitting. So peanuts that's not organic, they are really toxic.
Wow.
So always eat organic.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with foods, that people have to start to eat organic. There are certain things like the peanuts, they have to be organic. Grapes, strawberries, peaches, apples, they are among the things that are very, very, very toxic because of the spray they are using.
Right.
And
it doesn't even matter
people,
if there's
skin. So, for example, avocados, they have thick skin. I don't even think they spray them because the skin is so thick that, well, if one or another little worm goes in there, it's not, it's not so much.
Right.
So that is another thing that is very important when you start to treat yourself with the allergies. I had one client. He said, "Oh, can I go back and eat what I used to eat?" No. You have to start to change your diet and lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think that's a no-brainer.
It's just like the conundrum with insulin. People will, type 2 diabetics will say, "Oh, well, I can eat anything I want. I just took my insulin," right? But
I know. I had a friend, and she said no. She said, because we had parties, and she said, "No, I can drink whatever I want. I just take more insulin."
Oh my gosh! Right? Oh, we will all, it seems like this society wants the quick fix, right? So we do something to fix it, and then we think we're like Superman, everything's going to bounce off our cape now. But no, we have to take responsibility, and I think that's what I really like about what you're doing, Ynge, is that you are helping people to be not only fix a problem, but actually look at life differently. So it's like a door opener to the rest of their life, so that they can, live a healthier and happier life. And that's what we should be aiming for instead of the quick fix, right?
Absolutely. There is nothing. It's just a word, a pill, a quick fix. It doesn't exist. It's the same as with all these diets and diet pills, and you have to change lifestyle, and you have to eat less, and you have to eat organic and good food. But also, good food is, some people tell me that, oh no, I'm eating so healthy and clean. Well, if you eat a lot of kale and spinach, for example, and you're allergic to it, well, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
So there are lots of things that. The thing is also that people nowadays, they don't feel good. So they don't really know what it is that makes them feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think doing the basic allergy kits, then they start to feel different, and they know they eat something, they say, oh, that didn't fit good. And they can, I always recommend that people do a food diary.
Yeah.
And write down how they feel in the morning, how they slept, and in the evening what they ate during the day, and really put down everything. A lot of people, they don't realize that they eat a lot more than they think.
Well, and they just accept that they're breaking down, that they're getting older, that they're to be sick. Like so many people have migraine headaches, sleep disturbances, low libido, tired very easily, can't keep up, and they just wonder why, and yet, so often then they, go to McDonald's or Burger King, get the quick fix, and
Yes.
And are bombarded with commercialism all around us, when it really does have to come down to the basics, and our cells are the building blocks, and our cells are only as good as what we're feeding our cells, and the micronutrients and the foods that we're eating. And so I'm right on board with you, and I've been the other way as well. Like, my children are in their late 20s and 30s, and yes, when I was a younger person, that was all I knew. All this new education is coming from wisdom and experience, as we live our life experience. But if you are listening to this at all, and you're a young parent, or you're starting out in the world, or have some control over the dietary intake of your family, you'll want to check out the allergy kit, because it is true. I've seen people who are bioenergetics practitioners as well, and they do with the vials and clearing. But to do this at home, my goodness, what a gift it is, Ynge.
Yes, it is, because they save a lot of money, a lot of time, and they might say, oh, it's expensive, but it's not. It really is not. You can treat, as I said, the whole family. And by eating organic and learning about nutrition, they can teach their kids unfortunately, they don't learn that in school. And the school food they get, the food they get in schools is the same thing. It's all processed food. So it is really up to the parents to, if you have a kid, learn yourself first. You will feel good, and you will give the kid a much more smarter kid, a kid that's healthy and normal weight. But it is up to the parents. It really is. It's their job to keep their kids healthy.
Well, and especially in this day and age where the stats are now basically 1 in every 2 people in North America are experiencing cancer, and cancer feeds on sugar. And like, when you were saying earlier on in the show about how milk has sugar, people don't know or don't understand that any ingredient that has an ose behind it, like glucose and sucrose and fructose and lactose, are all really toxic sugars, aren't they?
Absolutely. And there is an Italian doctor, and he has been treating breast cancer, for example, as it is a fungus, with very good results. And fungus, it's like phlegm in Chinese medicine. They call it phlegm. And it is due to sugar and candida and yeast and all those things. They are all fungus producing. So we have to help ourselves. We have to.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late when you end up at the doctor's office and you say, "Okay, doctor, fix me." Where do they start? And they only give you 7 minutes and one complaint, and then we get into the pharmaceutical nightmare. Sometimes it's a wonderful gift to help us to get rebalanced so we can have a different outlook, but the certain thing is, in our pharmaceutical-driven lifestyle, we need to start with us first. We have to be our first metaphysician, and nutrition is definitely the key. And really starting with the allergy kit is really an excellent first step to get that balance back in your life. And then use that as a springboard, because I'm sure, after using the allergy kit, there may be some detox symptoms that might happen because our bodies need to get rid of everything. Is that what happens, or as we rebalance?
That can happen. So that's why especially with young kids and with people who are very sensitive, I always recommend they do a surrogate treatment. It's all under the instructions on the kit. But if you have a surrogate, so that means that you treat yourself, for example, but you're holding on to the patient or the person who's going to be treated, or he holds on to you. And and then the intention is to treat that other person. It works as well as if they are doing it on themselves. But they don't
excellent.
Get that. Yeah, so they don't get that reaction.
Yeah.
So some people, for example, peanuts that they get that they can't breathe. If they have somebody else that's holding on to that vial, because that person can't, he will have maybe an anaphylactic attack just by holding the vial. But by treating another person, you avoid that. And
that's
with the peanuts,
awesome.
I have to give a warning. With the peanuts, they have to be very, 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 very secure and ensure that it has taken. They cannot start to take peanuts without make very sure that they are cleared for it.
Yeah, exactly. You still act like you have the allergy when you have that type of allergy or sensitivity. It's just that you're going to have a reduction in possibly the risk of reaction. But, it's because the peanut allergies are so serious. They're life and death, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. So take caution with that for sure. So I just want to digress for a second and just direct, if anybody wants to check out on Facebook, the Allergy Kit At-Home Natural Allergy Treatment, put that in the search bar and you will come to the Allergy Kit group page, and you can check out more there. You can actually watch videos with Dr. Ynge, and you can find out, too, she's actually just launched her book, Finding Your Lost Child. And I just want to thank you. Our time has gone by so quickly. We'll have to talk again because I know you've also have some help with autism as well. So for now, we're going to have to say goodbye, but check out theallergykit.com/REF/109. Check out the marketplace. We will talk to you real soon, and stay blessed.
You have been listening to Ageless Blissings with Brenda Pierce. The views and opinions have been those of the participants and are not to be taken as medical advice. For more Ageless Blissings, visit www.facebook.com/agelessblissings. Until next time, have a wonderful body, mind, and spirit-filled week.